the Zenith. This is kind of an old RDA, but it's been getting a lot of attention, especially because the clone, this is the Zenith clone. It is quite a bit accurate to the original. I'm using a stilaire drip tip here, just because I like the kind of restriction it has on the drip tip. It goes very well with the airflow. The Zenith is one of those good RDAs, one of those top 10 percentile RDAs. Straight out of the bat, it's good. It has airflow control, it has nice juice well. Let's go ahead and pop her open, and it has these posts, these rectangular posts that have the most biggest holes in them. So it has huge cyclops size holes in the build for the build. I'm gonna go ahead and get all the juice out. The only issue with this that I've had so far, as long as I've been using it, is that it suffers from leaky problems. But besides that, it has a very generous juice well, very big lid, incredibly easy to build coils on, huge holes. Everything about it, it just screams good, in my opinion. Good. Now, let's go ahead and drip her up. I do have a 0.25 ohm coil in here, and it is performing very well. I have it just sitting right about here. Let me just make sure that that content is saturated. So it does perform good, as you can see there. With the air control now, the air control is quite interesting how it's set up. The air control is pretty much like the Helios, where you have a little sleeve here, like such, and it's good, but the only issue I have with this type of air control is that it leaks, and that's kind of a huge negative. The only reason why I like the stilaire and the tobh so much is that it doesn't leak, so, you know, I'm pretty sure this design is good at the time, but what I mean by leak is it doesn't leak when you drip it. When you drip it, it's perfectly fine. It leaks as you start vaping. So when you start vaping, obviously it's going to start sprinkling all over the place, and it'll get in between the airflow control sleeve and the top cap area, and that will cause it to kind of hold some juice in between there. Although as tight as it is, it still gets in there, and it ends up you just get tiny amounts of juice on your fingers, and that gets kind of annoying. This is the top cap, like the tobh, but instead of it being held by O-rings, it is a screw-on. Now this is the clone, so I have no idea if the original is like this, but that is kind of how it sits there. It says Zenith engraved right there, right here. With the drip tip is just not a part of this, but how she performs, freaking fantastic. Performance and flavor is on par with the stilaire, pretty much identical as far as the flavor and the performance is. Plumes of vapor. Mind you, this is a brand new battery. The only issue I have with this, like I said, is you'll vape, and then pop up drip, vape, and then you'll notice that the air, where the air control sleeve is, it'll start to get a little juicy, and that's kind of my only gripe about this RDA. But it just performs. Now, definitely a good RDA. If you're looking for a Zenith clone, definitely worth getting. Although I still can't say good things about this stilaire, and this stilaire is a clone as well. It is so good. Although dripping is actually more easier on this. And this does also get a little bit leaky, but not as much as the Zenith does. And when I compare RDAs, I compare it to my favorite at the moment. This is still my current favorite, and it's there. It's flavor, vapor production. It's there. It's even easier to build clothes on than the stilaire. So there are some ups over the stilaire, but the only issue I have, again, is that little leakiness right there. Go ahead and drip some more. So this is how I drip. I just take off the drip tip and I put 5 to 7 drops on one side. Again, 5 to 7 drops on the other. I have no idea how many drops that exactly is. And I suck it in so that it does not reach the, does not come out of the air holes. And like I said, when you drip, it doesn't leak. When you tilt, it doesn't really leak. Really, where it leaks is when you press that button, and then the how it sparks all over the place. Once you drip it, I say about 5 times, you'll notice it gets a little bit juicy there. Not a deal breaker at all. These are great atomizers. They're good right out of the box. Like I said, pros. There's so many pros that little juice issue is not even an issue. And again, I already dripped twice on this, and it's still bone dry. The performance is nutty. And just overall, I really like this Zenith, but it doesn't hit my everyday area. Right, my everyday vape is kind of at the moment. My everyday vape is the stilaire on a mechanical. Say if I had to go out somewhere, bring the stilaire. Or if I'm at home, this tobh. This tobh is fantastic. And the flavor from all these RDAs are just great. Wonderful. Whew. That gave me a throat hit. So about the Zenith, that's pretty much all I have to say. It gets a 2 thumbs up. Great bang for your buck, especially the clone, right? I was waiting for the clone. And the performance of it is just fantastic. It's fantastic. It's funny how it's not leaking on camera. That's interesting. It's interesting to see, but again, this RDA does hit the top 5 fave 5s. Okay, so it starts with the stilaire, tied with the tobh basically, and then comes the Zenith. I prefer the Zenith over the Origins, but then comes the Zenith, and then comes the Origins, and pretty much that's my fave 5 at the moment. So we got the stilaire, the tobh, the Zenith, the Origins, and YG. I guess the 5th position still is up for grabs at the moment. Hopefully the plume veil will hit somewhere around there. Those are just for dripping RDAs, guys. Obviously for my favorite RTAs, rebuildable tank atomizers, would be this K-Fun. K-Fun. You can't really beat K-Funs. K-Funs are just damn good. And those of you that kind of think the K-Fun lacks in airflow, if you drill that part out right here, you drill that out, that drip tip, you drill that out right there, see those 2 parts? I drilled those 2 out, and this thing has just as much airflow as an RDA. It just performs. The only thing is you have to get a K-Fun, get the clone, but get a clone that kind of wicks very well. All clones don't act the same. Some don't wick as well. So those you can't really, even if you jack up the airflow, you get dry hits. But this one actually, it wicks so well that I have to put a little bit of cotton in the channels, and it could keep up with the amount of vaping that I do. It's a little bit off topic there, but with the Zenith, again, definitely recommended. 2 thumbs up. One of my top 5 basically at the moment right now. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have a question, leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. And all that, I'm trying to get a lot of videos out of the way today, so hopefully this will get uploaded today as well.